Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Reflection series where we listen to stories that recharge and rejuvenate us. The title of the story today is Circle of Divine Protection, and we have Sister Shweta Beeram from India who would like to share on this story. She shares about how her practice of Rajayoga helped her to invoke divine protection and get clarity on the way forward in life. Shweta has a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering and she has done her master's in business administration. She has been practicing and teaching Raj Yoga for nearly 30 years, and she has professional experience as a financial analyst, and she currently works as a project manager while volunteering in various service activities with the Brahmakumaris. So, a very hearty welcome to the program, Shweta, and we look forward to hearing your story. So, welcome once again, and it's over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sister Lata. So, I'm very happy to share with all of you today my experience of practicing Rajayoga meditation for over last 27 to 30 years and how that power of connection, power of Rajayoga help always to look within and invoke support from the divine. Unless we experience this, it would not be real for anyone. So, here are a few very initial experiences in my childhood. When I started practice of Raj Yoga meditation, these initial experiences enhanced my faith on the path. It enhanced my faith on the power of connecting to the self and power of connecting to the supreme, especially in terms of need. It is not a difficult one. It is just a thought away, connecting to yourself and connecting to the divine. It's just a thought away. It's just you call for it and the support is there. And you need to know where to look for the solution or support in times of need. I think that's the only thing. And it is not difficult at all. So, one of my early experiences is way back 23 years back when I had just graduated and on job for the first time. I had to live in a different city all alone by myself, where my parents were not there, because up until then I was living with my parents. So that job took me to a different city and I was working, being alone, living alone there. And I vividly remember one situation. Every weekend I used to go back to my parents' city. So I remember one evening when I was planning to take a bus to the other city. There was some unstable political situation in that part of the region, which broke out suddenly, and there was no pre-warnings or anything of that sort. I had no information. Probably nobody had information that something sudden like that would happen. And I took a taxi to go to the bus station to catch a bus. And in midway, the taxi person says, "There are riots happening there. I cannot take you all the way. You have to get down right here." So it was in middle of nowhere. I got down. It was a new place. I didn't know how to get there. I didn't know whom to ask. I was just stranded there. And I could see a mob. And I was just thinking, what do I do next? And it was so beautiful. As I was already practicing meditation, Rajayoga meditation, I just took a moment and I just tried to connect to the Supreme. And the minute I connected, it was like a magical experience. A person came forward. He said, "Do you recognize me? I know you." Then I slowly recognized, because when I went to the meditation center, I think I saw him there. He said, "I'm here. What help do you want?" Then I said, "I have to get to the bus station, and I don't know how to get there because it's a new city, new place." Then he said, "I'll take you there." And he took me there. He ensured that I got there very comfortably, and he put me in the bus and bid me bye. So, uh, if I had not invoked at that moment, probably I would have been stressed, confused, try to run back. I would know what to do. So, these moments of invoking the Supreme, it invokes the help physically in front of you. This was a very beautiful experience. This was one of my very early experiences, of staying alone, being in a new place, stranded in a new place, a young girl stranded in a new place, and there was a magical help in just moments. This was one of my early experiences which reinforced that invoking and connecting to the divine, manifests physical support out here. So this was my first experience. And another very interesting experience was, after a few years of working, I was unsure what I have to do next. I was not sure whether I have to go and pursue my master's abroad, or where do I do, what do I do. I was in a kind of unplanned, confused state. And then finally, at one moment, I decided, okay, after consulting my friends and mentors, I decided, okay, let me go ahead and pursue my master's in America. So that was my plan. I applied to some of the universities, I shortlisted, and I was waiting for the results. And destiny had some other plan, because I believe that each individual has a set karma and a set of experiences we have to go through, and set of learnings we all have to go through. And the circumstance we are in is the most ideal circumstance which is helping us to grow and to experience and move forward. Wherever destiny takes us, in fact, that's the most ideal place for us. So I had known this concept, but I didn't know how that would work. So in this scenario, I had applied for various universities. I was waiting for the replies. And meanwhile, it was purely by accident that I happened to bump in. I was traveling on work, and at one of the Indian airports, I happened to bump into one of our very senior teachers of Rajayoga from Mount Abu, who lives abroad in Europe. So I recognized her. She was a very senior person. So we got to sit at the gate and we were chatting, and I was telling her, this is what I'm currently doing in my life. This is what I'm doing. I professionally, this is what I am. I gave her a bit of my background, and then suddenly she said, "It's good you're going to US. Why don't you think of coming to Germany?" Because she was living there. She was a very senior teacher at Brahmakumaris, European coordinator living in Germany. Then I said, "Yes, let me explore. Why not?" The minute she said, I said yes, and I had an open mind to accept, to explore the option. So that day, upon reaching home, I Googled, I looked for a good master's program which is in English, which is in Germany. And it was so interesting that the very first link, the search option, the search, Google showed, was an American program with partnership in Germany. The whole program was in English, and it had dual degree. You get a degree of both German university and a very popular American university, and the fees was 50% of American university, and very similar course. So I was surprised. I was not even aware that such things exist. So I was very happy. I applied for it and I got an interview. I got selected. In fact, this moved much faster than American universities, which I applied much earlier. So I believe in power of destiny. And if you let God take your reins of life, and if you let Him guide you, for that there are some precursors. You need to invoke Him. Without invoking, God does not put up, He does not come forward and help just like that. But the minute you invoke, He doesn't take any time to come forward and help. So this was a very beautiful experience because I always had a conversation with Him. Am I doing right? Is this the right direction I have to go? So I got the admission and I got a huge scholarship, which was like a bonus for me, which was unthinkable in American universities at that point for those particular programs. So it was a very similar program, and I remember I got 70% scholarship. It was like a huge bonus for me. And I applied, I got everything. I went there, I studied, and that experience was amazing. The bonds I made there are the relationships I developed when I was there are something I cherish and they're for lifetime. And my learning was so huge there. It was not only professional learning, but also as I was always a student of Raj Yoga, I also was connected to Raj Yoga Center there. And the experience of looking at spirituality through various lenses helped me grow immensely personally there. And how spirituality is not complicated, it is so simple, it is so universal, and it can definitely be applied by anyone, and anyone can easily connect to the Supreme. It doesn't need any background of religion, country, or anything. That was a very beautiful experience of connecting to my European counterparts who were learning Raj Yoga there, friends. So that was one of my beautiful experience, and I feel that was one of the best decisions for me. And it had many roll-on effects also. That experience helped me move forward, and it opened next door and the next door and the next, and so on and so forth. So the whole idea is you let go of the control sometimes and let God take over the control, and He can plan your destiny far better than we could even imagine, or anyone else, our closest friends could do for us, or our parents could do for us. So, this was a very, I could say, life transforming experience for me. Something which I was not even expecting, because I had never even in my wildest dreams thought I would want to go to such a country which I didn't know, or none of my friends went, none of my relatives went. So it was something so new, but the experience was something life changing. So this was one very beautiful experience, and yeah, there are many such short experiences also, even within that, it is even beyond our imagination how the divine can help. you know he fits in everything what we want. Even the package he creates for us, if our life is a package, you know he creates such a beautiful thing that he fits in everything we really need. Probably we are not aware what we need, but he knows what we are aware what we need, and he puts everything into it. This has been my experience. And now I'm back in India, and also the experience I gained there is helping me immensely in in also serving professionals, and also for me personally to choose the right profession that would satisfy me while helping others. Sometimes it is not easy to choose a profession just for the sake of earning money, because there are many levels of satisfaction we as individuals are looking for. One is the professional skills, and the next important thing what we are looking is also to serve and the outcome of what we are doing. So I was lucky, very lucky, to find such jobs where I not only grew professionally and move forward, but also those areas, it was purely divine intervention or God's help, I can say, that where I was able to apply my professional skills and also the skills I learned as a Rajyogi with the practice of Rajayoga meditation. Because some jobs need a lot of compassion and understanding and connecting to people. So it was a very interesting job startup I had where I had to work with cancer patients. So that was an opportunity which came in front of me where I had to use both my professional skills and skills as a Rajyogi, which you learn connecting to other person, knowing their needs and helping them at various levels. So I think this is all God's uh, plan. And also, when you evoke his support and his guidance, the way he directs is um, far beyond what we can imagine or what we can hope for in life. So these are some of my experiences of invoking the divine.
Yeah, that's very beautiful. Uh, it's like as if there's a script written for you which you're unaware of, and as and when the script unfolds, the situation, scene in front of you unfolds, it's like, oh wow, this is more beautiful. Oh, this is even more beautiful. So, uh, it's just letting the higher one guide you and let him take all the responsibility.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you for sharing those stories. Uh,
Well,
would just like to ask, uh, sometimes we do plan things in life. And as you shared, sometimes there's a higher plan which you're unaware of. Would you say it is not necessary to plan? Because sometimes it may be taken, could make someone complacent and say, okay, we will see what the higher one has planned for me, and I need not plan anything in life. So it may be taken the other way. So what would you like to share to, the viewers? How do we keep a balance between planning things needed in life and also having faith that the higher plan is going to work?
yeah, a very good question because I experienced the other side of it as well. Because there was a time I thought, okay, I don't need to plan anything in life. Well, and I waited for an year, 2 years, nothing happened. Then that is when I was, I was fortunate enough to have very good spiritual mentors, spiritual friends who are also on this path of Rajayoga meditation. So I happened to have a conversation with one of them. I precisely asked her this question, you know, how important is it to planning versus faith? Where do you strike the balance? She told something very interesting. She said, see, you plan as though it's a normal course of life. Plan it, what you would normally do, plan, and start to implement it. You plan and also you surrender that to God and be open. And if God wills, things will take a different course and you should be open for it. But it doesn't mean that you don't take your first step and not plan or not, move forward. This because I was doing nothing for 2 years. I was simply doing a job after my engineering, and I was not happy with that. But I was like in a stalemate kind of situation. I didn't know whether to take my step or just wait for God to help. Both were not happening. I was just stuck. That is when I had to discuss with the spiritual friend of mine, And she was a very experienced one. She said, no, this is not the way. She said, just do it, and God will, and just surrender it to God, and He will guide you. And that is exactly what happened to me. After discussing with her, I started applying for my universities, and you see the direction in which it went was totally different. So I have many such experiences. This is just one of the experiences, but we have to be open for it. Yeah.
That's lovely. So we do take the necessary steps that's needed to be done. So we plan it and we, you know, go towards the plan we have thought. But
Yeah.
in the meanwhile, if there's something that opens up, just go with the flow.
Go with the flow and
Yeah.
go with faith and flow both.
Mm, wonderful. Have you had any experience where you may have felt, okay, this seems to be working, but then you may have to had to backtrack, or there was some learning in that situation, and any kind of a plan that did go right? And maybe it's a realization as well. As they say, anything that happens in life is, a lesson to be learned. So what we
Yeah.
learn out of that situation,
Yeah.
there's a
See,
reason behind it.
I think the biggest problem that comes, at least my personal experience was, as you said, when we become complacent. The minute we become complacent, we start, paying attention and stop doing things and take things for granted. That is when things do not work out the way they have to. I think we also, just because things are working out for us, we cannot take them for granted. That's very important. We should still have gratitude that it is not just my effort that things worked out for me. It has been divine help, it has been blessings of many. So if you always practice that gratitude, I think for me, because I experience the whole spectrum, so it is very important. I have personally felt that practicing gratitude keeps us grounded. If you make it as a ritual every day to practice, you can even do a gratitude writing, then our whole outlook changes and it keeps us grounded. And it makes us feel that I'm not the only one contributing to things. There are many more inputs, many more, there's a divine help. So many things are helping us to make things happen. So that would feel us very grounded. I think that is why it's very important to practice gratitude. Otherwise, we would get off tangent and um, things might not work.
Mm. It's beautiful. So humility and gratitude for
Gratitude.
everything that's going right, and
Yeah,
of course planning if things need to be done. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's a beautiful way to
I
see it.
think if you take care at this level, at next levels things will fall in place. If we start to get careless and complacent, I think that from that is where the trickling of things not working will happen. So I think if we take care at that level, things go much better. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing your experiences and stories with us, Shweta. And lastly, I think I would like to request you to give our viewers a little glimpse of meditation through a commentary, so they can also experience, how does it feel when we relax and connect. So
Yeah.
if you are able to do that, then
As I just said, I would always love to do it on gratitude, feel gratitude for things, evoke that energy of gratitude. Yeah. I think let us take a moment and reflect on all the beautiful, not so beautiful incidents. Some could be very life changing. Some of the incidents could not be not so pleasant. Some of the incidents could be totally not as per plan, not as per our desire, but still, let me have gratitude for every experience in life I had thus far. Because every experience, things that worked, show the power of hard work, show the power of God's divine blessings, also show the help and support we received from friends, family, our mentors, spiritual gurus, everyone around us. So let us have very deep gratitude to all of them for whatever success, whatever positive moments I had in my life, and for not so pleasant moments. I also offer my gratitude because they are the ones that taught me deepest of the lessons. They are the ones that got me closer to the divine. They are the ones that took me into contemplation and understand what is right. So I offer gratitude for everything that happened in the past, the sum total of all the experiences which brought me here, and also for what I am today. And today, this day itself is a gift for me because today is in my hands. I can always create a beautiful tomorrow, considering today as a beautiful investment. So I offer my gratitude for today, for God for giving me such a beautiful life. And also, I offer my gratitude for the beautiful tomorrow, which fills me with hope, which fills me with excitement. And also, I offer very deep gratitude to nature because nature plays a huge part in my life experience, in all our life experience. So I thank nature for all the support it has given from the time I was born. So the practice of gratitude and throwing this energy of gratitude into the cosmos not only attracts more and plenty, but also balances the energy within me. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Shweta, for sharing that beautiful commentary. I hope our viewers have benefited from the stories that were shared today and also this meditation experience. So thank you for joining. And if you
Thank
would like to
you.
know more about us, please do visit our website www.brahmakumaris.org.au. All the details of our centers and retreat centers and all the programs offered are available there. So thank you, and we will be back with another interesting episode in the reflection series. Take care. Om Shanti.